Some of these lines that we're riding in Alaska will really push you to your limits. I found that I was able to better myself as a rider just because I was being subject to terrain and conditions that I had never seen before. Alaska is just another animal where it's bigger and it's steeper than anything else that I've ever ridden, and it pushed me to set new boundaries.
Ja, Austin.
What brought me to Alaska. I started watching videos by Travis Rice and Red Bull, watching Travis Rice in The Art of Flight, and I just thought that was the coolest thing. Just a bunch of buddies getting to snowboard some of the steepest, biggest lines in Alaska and really the world, where it's just some of the best powder you can find. And that was just kind of a dream of mine. And I started looking into it, and I realized that it actually could be in the cards for me. So I made it happen. I got out there and I spent a full week in Alaska, and it was the greatest experience of my life.
think that's me. We did. That was sick. You just disappeared into the white. I rode out of it. I say I stomped it.
Nobody needs to tell you what is right or wrong.
They don't? That's okay, we can go claim your flag. Okay.
This came from right up there.
Give me enough time. Yeah, oh my god.
Alaska is known for some of the craziest terrain you can ride, but there are inherent dangers that go with riding in Alaska. And as part of that, we rarely get to ski in a group, and it's usually just one at a time. But there was a time on this trip where something super rare happened. And so I think there were about 6 or 8 of us in a group that were all able to ski this Alaskan wilderness just all together.
Copy for Jer. Go ahead for the next rider. Good copy. Next rider dropping.
Who wants it? I do. Get it out there. Yeah! line. Very good line.
We're gonna roll over this hill and we just follow these tracks. Stay in between the outermost tracks here.
Okay.
And there is some peppery, rocky stuff, and I'll call out and say either go right of my track or left of my track or whatever. And we're just gonna go about halfway down and stop again, just like we did over on that last run.
Okay.
So I'll go ahead and go down. Zach's just right down here. You just ski right past him.
Almost not steep enough. Oh.
Next rider.
That's absolutely gorgeous.
Dude, nice work.
Hell yeah.
No, a pound. No, give me a hand.
Left you hanging, man.
No, it's all good. That was sick.
I love that little ridge at the end. It was so good.
Right? It's like a mini spine.
It's a mini spine.
Oh, yeah, you probably already got
Yeah, I did. Mini spine. That's one way to say it.
Not suck. Heck yeah.
Yeah. Good stuff.
What's that?
Good stuff.
Yeah, 3,000 birds.
And I think it does that for a lot of people. My first trip out there, that had I done anything that trip that I was doing this trip, things could have gone south pretty quickly. But this time around, I definitely rode some of the craziest lines of my life.
You're like, you go. I'm like, I guess so.
Between learning how to manage slough and avalanche, and overall just becoming a better rider on steeper, more technical terrain.
I can never check those enough. Hey, yo, we got a bit of a slide there. I just got out of it. Gotta look at that. Holy hell. That's by far the most technical line I've ridden. That's pretty steep. Okay. Okay, that was insane.
Yeah, you really kind of stepped it up from last round, didn't we?
Yeah, quite a bit.
Wait, skip one.
That was big.
Looked good.
Nice job.
Not to mention, I was in a pretty good slide for a little bit. I was just like, hand on the ripcord, basically like, we going? But I was able to kind of skirt off to the side of it.
Yeah, there were a ton of slough.
It felt like a little more than slough, but I don't know. All I knew is I was going for a ride.
Yeah, it's a little nerve-wracking.
Just a little bit, first time experience.
3 different little panels propagated out in front of me.
Yeah.
Like it ran in front of me. It wouldn't go deep and it didn't run far.
Yeah,
but you see it propagating out in front of you. Let's fucking start grabbing them out and getting up high, getting above it.
Get light.
Well, the light got so flat up there too. I was having a really hard time seeing, and then like there were spots where you had gone through and set stuff off. So then I was on the stuff that was underneath.
Was it hard under that?
It was harder than what's on top for sure. So it was super variable conditions and flat light, couldn't see, and then I started sliding.
Let it run and let it go, but the light's not there.
Well, yeah, that's where I was at. Like I wanted to just open it up and just commit, but it was so like.
Is that us
I
right
just
there?
couldn't see. That was pretty. That was awesome. Loved that. I'll probably try to stay high as much as possible.
Yeah, sounds good.
Nice spine all the way.
And spines are one of those features that draws people to Alaska.
Two crickets are chirping in the middle of the night, baby. One by the lake, one over the hill.
Yes! Let's go! Let's go, dude! Did you even see what you just set off?
Yeah.
Dude, that was crazy.
Dude.
All that snow just like waterfalled.
I saw
you
it
couldn't
come.
see anything in
I
there.
saw it coming. I'm like, holy shit, I have 1 second to get across this right now.
Yeah. And then you just disappeared into a cloud of snow.
I was just like right in the perfect spot in between it all.
That was
The snow
sick.
was just too firm for me to mock out, you know?
Yeah. It was pretty similar on this side. It got a little crunchy.
That was so sick.
That was sick.
One of the unique situations that we found ourselves in is our helicopter pilot decided to do what's called a tow-in, and that's where you don't fully land to get out of the helicopter. We had been circling this area that we wanted to ski really bad. We kind of had our line picked out. We just had to get there, but there wasn't really a spot to land. I didn't have a headset on, so I was just kind of watching the pilot and our guide to kind of, point, and I could kind of tell they were saying like, oh, maybe over here, over there. The spot that they picked was like a knife's edge, where the pilot just kind of rests. He just kind of rested the front of the skids just barely on this knife edge, and then watching the pilot, he is still flying the aircraft. He watches out his window. He's watching the ground and making sure that the helicopter isn't moving, but he's essentially just hovering there. And we all climb out really quick, as quickly as we can, but on top of that, it's really steep and it's hard to get your footing because there's not a great place to stand, so you're kind of just like digging into the snow and just trying to build a shelf while trying not to lose a snowboard down a mountain or a backpack or anything. And at some point, while one of the last guys was getting out of the helicopter, there was a pretty substantial gust of wind that came through, and I actually had my hand up on the helicopter. I was holding the door open for this last guy, and the whole helicopter started to pick up and take off again just as this last guy was getting out. But the pilot was able to control it, maneuver it back, and kind of settle it down just enough for this last guy to get out. And then we had all of our gear, and the pilot took back off again, and it was just such a cool experience.
That is a landing.
Nice. Nice.
Oh yeah.
Beautiful. Nice one. Thank you. Ready for base. Top of crossers. Sick, guys. Alright, yeah. We're just gonna get to that flat zone over there.
make that? Crazy. It's me all alone again. Oh yeah. Absolutely epic.
Yeah, so you see these other kind of features down ridge a bit. Nice.
Spectacular.
Yeah.
What a day. What a day.
Well done. Well done. Good stuff.
Almost not steep though. Oh, very nice.
Next rider.
Good run.
Nice.